Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the High Performance YouTube Trading Channel. I am Joshua Salvetti, and today we are going to be breaking down a very important lesson, right, on how to observe the market context, right, and what does that actually mean? And actually, in a nutshell, it means how to identify the market conditions. Who's in control? Is it buyers? Is it sellers? Is it a more balanced market moving in a sideways range, right, stuff like that. So I want to break this down very extensively so that you can understand the importance and relevance of it to market success, right? So before we go any further, real quick, right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to show everybody over here, the highperformancetrader.net is awesome, right? We are coming out with amazing resources for every trader out there, right? So you can see here over here at the website, link below, link in the Instagram bio. I break down the Discord and everything that we offer, right? So Discord includes pre-market analysis, live trades, intraday commentary, right? Futures options trading, one-on-one mentorship, right? So if you're a trader or a beginning trader or even an experienced trader that's just looking for a valuable friend, right, get a hold of me. I offer a one-on-one mentorship. You can call me literally 24/7. Probabilities on setups, live webinars, right? Trading metrics and basically trading analytics. Very important stuff if you want access to the course, right? So a purchase of the course will get you access to the Discord, right? So go ahead, $150, super valuable, a limited time only, right? Check it out, right? So without further ado, let's break out this lesson over here. So, just give me 1 second. All right, so how to identify market conditions, right? So what are market conditions? Well, basically in a nutshell, market conditions is the overall temperature of the stock, commodity, or market, right? It's in a bearish or a downward trend. It's an upward trend. It's moving sideways in a range, right? It's super volatile, right? These are market conditions. So for the sake of this video and the purpose of this video, I want to be breaking down how to identify that and why it's beneficial to you. Right, so the lesson goals is how to identify a trend, right? And for the first half of this video, I'm going to run through a presentation. Second half, we're going to go live on TOS. I'm going to show you how this was beneficial for me on Friday, right? Which was March 3rd, 2023. So lesson goals, how to identify a trend, right? How to draw a trend line, right? How to recognize market conditions, and how to make proper decisions trading with trend, right? So I'm sure you heard the saying before, trend is your friend, right? So you got to trade with it, right? Otherwise you are going against the grain and you're going to be met with discomfort and hurt. So how to identify a trend, right? So the first thing you must do, right, to identify price action trend by recognizing lower lows and lower highs, right? So you can see in this example, right, we kind of got this bull flag thing going where price ripped up and now we are consolidating in a downward motion, right? So we're making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, right? So then number 2 is draw a trend line connecting the lower highs, right? And 3 is redraw a trend line as a channel to get symmetrical degree of a trend line, right? So this right here is super important, right? Because when I first started out trading, I would draw a trend line on the top and then go to draw the channel, and the bottom trend line of the channel wasn't the exact same symmetrical degree of trend line, which caused me to misfire, enter in areas that weren't valuable, right? So basically, I'm going to do that in a live presentation here in a minute on TOS to break that down for you. Okay, so once you've identified your trend, right? So we've identified a downward trend in this scenario. What you're going to want to do, right, being that we are in a downward trend, you're going to want to identify bearish, right, bearish chart patterns until we break out of the downward trend, right? So, and until we break out of the downward trend, we are trading with trend, which means downward, which means bearish, right? A double top, we're looking for supply rejections, maybe a head and shoulders, stuff like that. So after identifying downward trend on larger time frame, I am now looking for market conditions to be bearish. Supply zones tend to be much stronger in downward trends, right? And same with upward trends. Demand rejections, demand zones tend to be a lot stronger and hold more weight in upward trends, right? And so that's where it brings us to a concept of trading with trend. If you are in a downward trend, tend to go bearish, right? If you're in an upward trend, tend to go bullish, right? It's pretty simple. Identify possible, okay, so for the example here, we're in a downward trend, right? And now we have identified a supply zone here at 296. So you can see here we gapped up the day prior to this 296 area and was met with sellers, right? So we know there's a violent sell-off here at 296. So if and when price can re-enter this 296 area, I will be looking for sellers to show up to take the market short, right? And that is basically our plan. That is how we are trading with proper market conditions, right? We've identified the trend and now we are trading with the trend. So in this scenario, price came back up to 296. The previous time, on the first drop of the double top drop over here, sellers came in at 296.50, give or take, right? Sold off violently. And then we tried to come up and re-enter, right, this area of value, the supply zone, and couldn't break 296. Couldn't make a new higher high. Clear indicator that sellers are extremely in control here. And not only that, but that buyers are getting weaker, right? Anytime you're looking for a double top and you've identified that buyers are getting weaker graphically by not seeing a higher high, that is a clear indicator that the supply and demand market auction is heavy with supply zone, is heavy with sellers. And you can see here, price came in and violently sold off to 291, which was demand. So after identifying market conditions on a higher time frame, patiently, keyword, patiently, wait for price to enter supply zone, identify chart pattern, and target opposing demand zone, right? So super important stuff, right? I just want to give a quick presentation on how that worked, right, and why it's important. And so now for the second part of this lesson, we are just going to be breaking down what happened Friday, right? So what happened Friday is you can still see here we are in this downward trend. So first thing I want to show you, right, is how I will draw my trend lines, right? So first things first, you can see here we are in a downward trend. Now there's a million different ways you could draw this trend line, right? You could start right here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to connect our lower highs, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So now we have this trend. Now right click, redraw as channel, which will get you, look at that, a perfect symmetrical line that you can use as support. So a lot of people don't know this. When you're in a downward trend, you could see you have resistance and support. Every time price hits this, we're met with sellers. Every time price hits this, we are met with buyers. It is the exact same thing as trading a range, except you are in a specific downward motion. So you can see here, we first get this breakout here, over here on the SPY, right here at 396, right? So you can see now that we got this breakout, right, we have broken out of the downward trend, which is now changing the market conditions, right, showing strength. Because what these trend lines are indicators to show us who's in control. Once you can understand the market in a supply or demand perception, right, you use these supply zones, demand zones as indicators to tell you who's in control, because the overall goal of the market is to understand who is in control, buyers or sellers. So once we break out of this downward trend with strength, right, so now I'm going to break down a lower time frame, right, we break out with strength. So my goal going into this trade, right, and you can see in the pre-market plan, call this out in the Discord, is if we can hold above this key level right here, this key level, right, of 399.19, right, if we could break above 399, I would be looking to play the market long, targeting the opposing supply zone and then the next supply zone. You can see that played out perfectly because these supply and demand zones are magnets, ladies and gentlemen. Look, complete breakout, insane, literally targeted perfectly the supply zone. So my goal here, understanding that we had a breakout, understanding the market conditions, that buyers are in control, right, is if we can come retest this key level, I would be going long, targeting 404, right? Well, first I'd be targeting 401.50. If we could break that out of that, I'd be targeting 404. What happened? Perfect bounce off this key level, come down, retest perfectly, right? So buyers were defending this key level perfectly because what we have right here is what you call a break and retest. We broke out of resistance, retested it, and ripped. So ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how you use trend lines in supply and demand to identify and understand market conditions. I really hope this video helps, right? And I hope it's been beneficial. If you guys want to get involved in the Discord, go ahead, hit the link, check out the website, get involved, right? If you like this video, please hit a like, subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next lesson.